Okay, I'm going to do something a little bit different. This is Dr. Sean over at Fortis, and this is week 3. We're going to do a speed run through the entire thing. So listen up, and if you want to, you can go down to, right there, and you can speed it up with a little gear, and you can say like 1.25 or 1.5 speed, okay? So we're looking over here, and we're looking at the learning outcomes, and upon successful completion, you'll be able to talk about things like terminology associated with the structure of the heart, the cardiovascular system. We're going to go through that super duper quick. Heart and circulatory vessels, hematology. We did a little bit about that in the review and preview. Go back and look at that. Other videos that I've done also have stuff that I've drawn on the screen and show you some of the way the blood flows through the heart. That's one of my favorite things, actually. Define the characteristics and functions of the immune system and apply medical associated with the functions of the lymphatic system and cardiology, hematology, lymphatic system, and actually in this one, we talk about oncology, which is the study of cancer, right? So let's bounce through these real quick. I'm going to try to do this in like 6 minutes, I think. So the expectation is to make sure that you read things on oncology, cardiovascular, blood, and lymphatic. Blood is an entire system, right, by itself. Remember, blood is part of the connective tissue. It's a connective system. Cardiovascular actually is muscular, right? And oncology is actually the study of cancer cells and stuff like that. Initial posts due by Wednesday. Follow-up posts. Those are looking really, really good from the class that I'm in right now. I love seeing that. There's a little bit of exposition. You guys are like really getting into it. I love that stuff. That helps me respond to them well and helps me grade you easier, right? Because it's easier. You have to go through the rubric, and don't forget the rubric is those 3 little dots up in the corner, like up in this section. If you see, like right there, that little section up through there. There's 3 dots, and then you can find the rubric on most of the things. Let's talk about the textbook. We're not going to worry about that right now. Hopefully that worked for you. Let me know if you're having problems with any of those. The body's river system. So we're talking about the flow of fluid through the body. And that's the delivery of oxygen and nutrients, and then the release of CO2 and debris and waste products, okay? This also has a lot to do in the bloodstream. We're talking about the amount of water, the amount of oils, the amount of minerals. Minerals change a lot. They change conductivity and the way that the muscles work. They also change the pH, and they can buffer or reduce the acidity of the blood. For example, if someone stops breathing, their pH goes down, they become acidic. That's why when I was a medic, we would pick people up in the for an ambulance drive to the hospital, and one of the first things we'd almost always do is make sure that they had full flow, high flow O2 in them, so that they could breathe and reduce their acidity, right? And that helps. And then we'd maybe give them fluids too, depending if they lost blood. So this whole thing here is going to go through the cycles of the entire heart. If you learn the heart and you learn the flow through the heart, the blue side is anything that's going, actually, it's deoxygenated blood technically, but watch this. If you can kind of see this, let me see if I can blow that up really quick. Here's a little weird hint for you, okay? If you go here, and you go like DBD, oops, you go like this, and you see right here, that's those little red ones says pulmonary veins. These little right ones over here say pulmonary arteries. Arteries always lead away from the heart, and veins always come back to the heart. It doesn't matter what they're carrying, okay? So pulmonary arteries are taking blood away from the heart. That's these little guys right through here on the back of the heart. Those are taking blood away from the heart that's deoxygenated. So it has CO2 buildup in it, right? It comes from the vena cava, goes into this side of the heart, pumps it around, pushes it to the lungs, drops off oxygen or drops off CO2. We breathe it out, right? And then we breathe in, and we breathe in O2, and that goes through the left side of the heart and through the pulmonary veins, right, back to the left atrium and down through the left ventricle, etc. Right, so you see the entire system down through the bottom here. That's pretty cool. I'm going to reduce that back down for us so we can see it easier. And there's even a little video here which will explain the pressures of the heart and how things move. That's a really good one to watch. There's many ones out there you can do. There's great graphics and there's great cartoons and things like that. So watch that one. Let's jam through this one. We're now at 4 minutes 40 seconds. The cleanup crew is lymphatic. I always say that the cardiovascular system is the fast transport system because it takes about a minute to go through the entire body. Right? From breathing in to breathing out. So we put an isotope, a little like nuclear isotope on a piece of oxygen. We breathe it in. It goes around the body, drops off, does something, comes back, right? It can come back out within a minute, right? Generally. This here, we're talking about blood, we're talking about the plasma, and we're talking about plasma eventually oozes out of that system and goes in between the cells, interstitial fluids, and then it goes back to another system, which is basically kind of like a sewer. I don't want to call it a sewer system, but it's a slower moving fluid system called the lymphatic system. It doesn't have its own pump. You have to move and breathe to get it to move, and it'll come back, and it links back up up through here, right? Comes back through the body, right, on one side. Well, actually, the right arm, it's really weird. Right arm has its own system on the lymphatic system and reaches up into here to the lymphatic duct, and then the left side has its own through here too, which comes up to the subclavian vein and goes back to the heart and then pumps around. It's weird how it does that, right? It's very slow. It goes through lymphatic little tubules, little vessels that have little openings, and you can see them boop, 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 down here, right? They have the thymus, a big one in the middle. That's the T cells, right? Thoracic duct on the left and the lymphatic duct on the right. Cisterna chyli, that's a weird word, right? So let's go to the pronunciation of each one of these words. Cervical lymph nodes, lymphatics of the mammary gland. A lot of those, they like to take those out if there's a cancer problem. Cisterna. A cistern is a holding cell for fluid. Chyli has to do with the fluid, right? And lumbar lymph nodes, pelvic lymph nodes, lymphatics of the lower limbs. So you have inguinal. Inguinal is right in the crease where the legs meet the body, right? Lymphatics, upper limbs, spleen recycles blood. Has nothing to do with digestion, although it seems to end up in that way for some reason with people. Thymus again and thoracic duct. So as we get through this entire system, it's really amazing that it moves super slow, and it's more on the surface of the body, so you can actually affect it by doing like lymphatic massage, which some of you may end up doing because you become CNAs or LPNs or MAs or whatever you become. You might be doing some lymphatic massage, and it works spectacularly. You'd usually start close. Say someone has, I've had patients, for example, that had breast removed, mastectomy. They cut off the breast because they had cancer, right? So they cut that off, and then they sew everything up, and sometimes they'll put an implant in there and restructure it and stuff like that. Did you know there's even a specialty of people who do tattoos just for the nipple? Isn't that crazy? But anyway, so they will often, because those lymph nodes in through this area, for example, have been taken out, that lymph fluid can't get back to where it needs to go, and it kind of like just bogs up through the hand, and the hand gets puffy and the arm gets puffy, and sometimes they'll wrap and stuff like that or hold it above their head. Lymphatic massage works spectacularly. So does acupuncture, actually really help with that one. Lymphatic system, another video, it'll show you all about that. Put these things, when you click these videos, let's see if it clicks right here. You go down here.
Let's cover 10 pro
tips. Let's stop it for a second. Oh, come on.
Tips for working with the cursor agent.
Really,
so
it's going to have, we have a stupid thing. I'm not going to do that. So it's an advertisement. Sometimes you get advertisements. Don't like those. I'll do something other with it for you later. Instructions. Okay, so knowledge. So we have kidneys, heart and blood vessels, liver and lungs. Now, the term duh, right? Heart and lungs, you guys know that. Heart and blood pressure. So, whoa. No. Oh, well, whatever. Which is the largest artery of the body? Artery. Okay, pulmonary artery, no. Aorta is the big guy. Check, is it right? Yeah, it's right. Okay. Over here, arrhythmia, irregular heart rhythm. Arrhythmia, not normal. The heart chamber that pumps oxygenated blood to the body is the left ventricle. This is kind of going fast here, isn't it? Come on. Hypertension is high blood pressure. High blood pressure. Sorry about that. Chest pain, term angina, chest pain due to reduced blood flow to the heart. This is weird. This is one of the things that I had, but I didn't have chest pain. I had shoulder pain. It's really weird. I'll tell you all about it someday. Blood vessels that carry blood away from the heart are called arteries. Right? We talked about that one earlier. We're here now at 9 minutes. I'm going to do one more minute. We're out of here as soon as I finish this one. Myocardial infarction is the term for a heart attack. Okay? An infarct means the tissue dies, actually. Pericardium is around the heart, protective sac around the heart. Heart chamber would be a ventricle or a atria or something like that. Bradycardia. Brady means slow, right? So bradycardia. Okay, how many more of these are there? Which valve is found between the atrium and the left ventricle? That's going to be the atrium and the left atrium and the left ventricle. It's going to be the mitral valve. Mitral because it has a little 2 points which look like the thing that the Pope wears. Okay, endocarditis, the inner endo inside lining. Okay, swelling. Itis is always inflammation, right? Remember the 4 hallmarks of inflammation. I've done that in another video. Blood vessels that return blood to the heart are veins. Good. And how many of these are going on? Now, these ones I don't think are actually graded, so don't worry too much about them. Is the major vein returning to the heart, the vena cava, the biggest vein. There's the thoracic and abdominal vena cava and all those jazz, right? Tachycardia, tachy. Tachy means not like bad clothes, but it means fast. Like a tachometer is your RPMs, how fast your engine is running in the car. Okay, which part of the heart receives deoxygenated blood from the body? That's going to be the right atrium, because it comes into the vena cava. The right atrium goes to the right ventricle, out to the lungs to the left atria, etc. Cardiomegaly, mega means big. Ba. There you go. Cardio means heart. Megaly means big. So booty megaly means big butt, right? Ischemia, excessive normal blood clot, inadequate ischemia. You can have ischemia anywhere. You can have ischemia in any of your skin, right? Hematology, we talked about that one. Hemato, blood, right? We know it's blood, and is the study of heart and blood vessels. Let's say blood and blood-forming tissues. There we go. Bing, bing, bong. These things keep going. My God. Which blood component is specifically responsible for oxygen transport? It's going to be red blood cells, the erythrocytes. They have the hematocrit and hemoglobin and stuff like that. Which condition involves arterial walls thickening due to plaque buildup? That's going to be atherosclerosis. Sclerosis means hardening, actually. Okay, edema means swelling. What diagnostic procedure is used to evaluate a heart's electrical activity in the structure? It's an ECG, electrocardiogram, CAR. They used to be called EKGs, but that's because it was originally designed in like Austria. And the first one was ever used on a dog. What role does the lymphatic system play in the body? Waste removal, hematopoiesis, oxygen, waste removal. I don't like that answer, but it's the best answer there is there, right? Now, that's the thing is nursing students instead of healthcare students, you have to answer the things with the best answer. What terms describe elevated lymphocytes? Lymphocytosis, okay? Osis is condition of lymphocyte. Site means cell. We got 23. You saw the one I got wrong there. Let's end it there. That's only 12 minutes. And see how much stuff we had to go through real quick. I'm just going to pound through these things like in 15 seconds or so. What's this? Discussion on the PET scan. I'll have another prompt up here. We already have one in there. If you're using Google, I'm glad you're using that, but don't just cut and paste. Let's try to get some conversation, because if I start seeing that they look like they're cutting and pasting, I will go through and start asking questions, okay? More questions, more deep questions, more open-ended questions. Online lab, this is Mary Kate Knowles and Miss Potts and Mr. Sampson. You'll talk about those, go through those, very easy stuff. It's not hard. Go through and write your stuff up. Midterm exam, there it is, 100 points. It looks like we've got in here no multiple attempts. You got to sit down and do this one. You have 100 minutes to do 100 questions, 1 minute a question. I'm going to check on that because I want to see if you can go back on those, week 3 summary. If we can go back, then you can answer the ones that you need to answer and then go back to ones that you didn't, because I don't like, that's pretty fast, man. And if you have to, okay, here's a hint with all of that stuff is if you're at a stalemate and you don't know the answer, what's called swag, SWAG, silly, wild ass guess, and sometimes that will be correct. You can usually go through a multiple choice, and you can eliminate 2 of them because you know that they're ridiculous if you read any of the material at all, and then you're like, ooh, I'm not sure if it's A or C, whatever. Just pick one and go with it from there if you're running out of time. Just be conscious of your time. I'm going to see if I can open up to multiple attempts though. Anyway, that's almost 15 minutes. This is Dr. Sean over at Fortis. I will talk to you guys later. This is an entire speed run. It wasn't that fast of a speed run though. My God, speed run of week 3. Okay, talk to you guys later. I'm gonna do some more today. Bye.